welcome to the Super Bowl 46 pregame show. Giants vs. Pats. Alright, the sequel. Was Super Bowl 42 the greatest of all time? Randy, go ahead.
No, I don't think Super Bowl 42 was the greatest Super Bowl of all time. It was a great drama with the Patriots going in, having not lost a game all season long. I can't stand the 72 Dolphins, so it would have been great to see them joined by another team in perfection, but the last team in the world I wanted to be was Bill Belichick and the Patriots. So just the possibility of that storyline being like the historic made it impossible for me to like that Super Bowl. I, of course, think Super Bowl 27 was the greatest Super Bowl of all time. It was watching a well-oiled machine just run through the best the AFC can put up. Just the most impressive single performance of a football team I've ever seen in my entire life. So I was young, and it was the perfect time in my life to see that Super Bowl, and Super Bowl 27 will always be the best for me.
All right, Jared.
I actually think it is. I mean, a lot of people think so, and it's the game itself may have had its defensive stands and whatnot, but I think the fact that they were 18-0, they were going in, all expected to win, and the emotional impact of the David Tyree play and just the determination during that one drive, it's the only game that's ever emotionally moved me. Yeah, okay, I cried. Whatever.
I think every game emotionally moves you.
No, that was like the only one. But no, it brought me to, I was going crazy, and so therefore I would say the Super 42.
I've seen your draft reaction video. You go crazy over the draft, Jared. I think you're a bit exaggerating about the only game that's ever moved you emotionally. I apologize.
Oh no, that's fine. But I'm just gonna say that's a little bit of a non-scripted there. But anyway, I'm just trying to say that I thought Super 42 was best.
All right. Comparing the two teams, the 07 Giants versus the 2011 Giants, and the 07 Pats versus the
This year's Pats.
Okay, basically, I think the two teams from Super 42 were better than the two teams this year. I think the Patriots have more of an offensive weaponry, even though they're doing pretty good with Rob Gronkowski, but he's hurt, so we'll see how that goes. And the Giants, well, I think the Giants are kind of similar because they barely made the playoffs both years, and then they went to the Super Bowl. So I would probably say that the Patriots team was a lot better. I mean, the record shows it. And I think the Giants team was right about the same.
The Patriots record was better in 07, but not phenomenally better. They had a good record this year. I think the Giants had the advantage in 07 of being a little bit more under the radar.
The Bills beat them. The Pats.
The Bills did beat the Pats, that is true. But that had to happen eventually. That's like in baseball, that eventually you're due. That you just throw your bat out in the strike zone, you're going to make contact eventually. But the Giants had the advantage of being more under the radar. They did barely just squeak into the playoffs. I mean, it's funny to think that had the Cowboys won that last game of the season, which a lot of the national pundits were choosing them to do, they could have made the playoffs. And I don't see the Cowboys team, as damaged as they were this year, actually making it to the Super Bowl. So kudos to the Giants for squeaking that out. But the Giants, though they were under the radar in 07 and barely squeaked it this year, it's been a pretty televised. There's been a lot of attention to the Giants' run this year. They won all their last 4 regular season games, and it's been an interesting streak. And of course, they're New York, so all of their coverage is blown out of proportion. But I think they're a better team this year than they were before. Surprise performances from Victor Cruz, of course. Eli Manning's playing out of his skull. I remember he's sitting here at this table talking about the Giants when they came into town, and you just didn't know what Eli Manning you're going to get. And it would seem, for the end of the season stretch here, you know which Eli Manning you're going to get, and it's the very good one. So they're getting surprise performances from players that unexpected and expected, and it's working out for them.
All right, now it's time for the offensive and defensive breakdown of both teams. Giants, we said here that they have a good a very good offense. Their defense has always been pretty good. Their Pats offense is good as usual, and their defense is, it's been awful. So, Jared, what do you think the defense are those breakdowns? Which one's the most significant to you?
I mean, I think the Giants are a well-balanced team, and the Patriots, they have a really good offense, but their defense has been bad most of the season. But I gotta say, during the playoffs, they've done a lot better. So, I mean, historically, I think the Giants should pull it off because of the whole.
I just think it's about the bigger team, the hard-nosed football team, and I think every year that's the team that wins it. I don't know, it's just my thought. That's why I want the Bills to just draft a big.
Like your New Orleans one. I mean, I don't know. Just going over the top of my head, I think there's a lot of not the bigger team won the Super Bowl recently. I think the matchup is really good for the Giants. I think the key to getting it at the Patriots is to put pressure on Brady, and the Giants have a well-publicized four-man rush that can get pressure. The Patriots have a good enough defense to get them this far, but they didn't face offensive powerhouses. I mean, Joe Flacco is playing the best game of his career almost against the Patriots and still managed their way into a loss. And Eli Manning is not going to give that performance whatsoever. They're going to have to stop the New York Giants offense, excuse me. And they run the ball well, they pass the ball well, and that's not going to be an easy thing for a Patriots team that hasn't really done that much at all this season. And they have a good enough defense that they might be able to stop Brady. Gronkowski, it doesn't look like he's going to be at 100% at the very least, and he's been as big a weapon as the Patriots have had this year. Wes Welker's not going to disappear under the big lights, so look for him to have a big game, but I think the Giants do very well in this matchup. I think they've been much worse off facing.
All right, so talking about the matchup from last time the Pats and Giants they faced each other, so Jared, so what do you think how that's going to impact this game?
Well, I go back to the 07 season where, and you and I watched it together. Remember how the Patriots were trying to go 16-0, and they aired that final game on both Channel 2 and Channel 4 at NBC, CBS. Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Okay, anyway, well that happened, and it was so crazy because everyone knows 16-0, and then and the Patriots barely pulled it off. They played in the regular season, then they played in the Super Bowl in which the Giants won. So I think, looking at that, the Giants won in the regular season this year. So I think that because of that, the Patriots are going to learn from the mistakes they did in that game and rebound in the Super Bowl this year. Same thing with the Bills. The Bills beat the Patriots, and then they destroyed us the second game. I mean, are they really going to lose to the same team twice?
I just think the Giants are better. I just think all the matchups everywhere on the field, I just think they're better. And I think the Pats, they go after every team. Belichick can just get here, get this little weakness here, and Tom Brady just speaks something out. But I think that the Giants, the way they play, it's just better. I mean, what do you think?
I would make the correlation to college football real fast. I mean, Les Miles had a really difficult time facing against Alabama, having faced them already in the season of the national championship game.
Yeah.
And at that high level of college football, it's very similar to the NFL. That these coaches are brilliant, and Bill Belichick is the best of the best, top tier.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to imagine him getting beat by Tom Coughlin, who isn't always viewed as the most strategic.
He might get
coach.
fired after the season.
At any given moment, he has a bad quarter. They're talking about him getting fired.
Yeah, basically.
So, but I still, like Sean says, I really like the matchups. I think they're strong in New York's favor, and I just cannot. I just don't want to live in a universe where Bill Belichick and Brady get another Super Bowl together. I just don't.
Plus, that camel from ESPN said that the Giants would win. I don't know if you saw that.
I love camels.
Camels, they know this stuff. So it's Sports Center. Thanks for that. All right. Keys for both teams. All right. I'm just gonna flat out say getting pressure on Brady. I'll just bring this up. You put this on that thing where I think Connor already touched on it. The Bills, they beat the Patriots during the season, and we're Bills analysts during the season. But so I'm going to say that we beat the Patriots at home because of that pressure on Brady, and I believe that is the key for the Giants to beat the Pats. And I believe that is key for any team to beat any other team. Pressure their quarterback. If you pressure their quarterback, they're not scoring points unless they have a stout run game, which the Pats have an okay one. But go ahead.
For the Patriots, I think they need to actually run the ball. They need to establish their run game. If they run against the Giants, I think they'll actually be able to basically establish a pass. And I think it would switch it up too, because we're playing against Perry Fuel, so and he has issues with the run, I think. And as for the Giants, they, like you said, they need to pressure Brady. That's what they got to do. I think Super Bowl 42 itself established that rule. So they got to pressure Brady.
I think the Bills' victory over the Patriots shows that Brady will get flustered if there's pressure and if there's turnovers. If they can force turnovers and get Brady just upset at himself on that stage, that would be huge. For the Patriots, I think they need to keep the score low if they're going to really have a chance to win. If they're going touchdown for touchdown, I don't think they're going to be able to keep up against as stout a defense as the Giants present against them.
Victor Cruz is going to run. I think it's just they don't have a person that can cover him. All right, we'll do picks now. I picked the Pats, or no, I'm sorry, I picked the Giants to win, 34-28. How about you, Jared?
I can't go against the Patriots, because I just
Traitor.
I'm rooting for the Giants, but I can't see them winning. I can't see them pulling it off. I'd say the Patriots are going to win, unfortunately, 31-27.
I say the Giants are going to win a good game, 30-27.
All right, go Gronk. And now we're going to do our drawing for, what is this? You want to explain this?
Go ahead, Randy.
We'd like to thank everyone who participated in the topics contest all year long. We have everyone whose topics were chosen to be involved in the show are entered into a random drawing contest for $25.
Oh,
so this is real money for participating in our show. We appreciate it. Be sure to participate next year. We might even get $30.
This might be higher next year.
Who knows? So, without any further ado, the winner of $25, Saber Mania. Congratulations, Saber Mania. Thank you for participating. We're off for a while.
Go Sabres.
Yep. Go Sabres. We're off for a while. We'll see you for the draft recap.
Draft recap. We might do a Bills show in the middle.
YouTube. Peace.
Go Bills.